Hi, Nancy Spears with Master Sommelier Richard Betts. Hi, Richard. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Sure, it's great to see you again. So I am over the top excited about your new book. It's a New York Times bestseller during the holidays,
Yep.
and it's called The Essential Scratch and Sniff, Guide to Becoming a Wine Expert. What inspired you? Tell us.
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, I was on a ski trip in far northern Canada with several good friends, and one friend, Chris Sack, and I were the last guys standing very, very late one night and talking about, he's like, the experiences you share with us, tasting together are really amazing. And how do you scale it so it's not just, 8 of us around a table? It's like you should do a book, and we talked about all different kinds of books, and there's so many wonderful tomes that exist filled with maps and tons of words, and it's like I don't have anything to add to that, but the idea of a scratch and sniff book is very additive to the whole thing, and it's really commensurate with my whole idea of just make it a grocery, not a luxury, knock the fanciness off the pedestal, and just drink wine, right? And so the whole idea with Scratch Sniff is just disarm it and make it fun, and everybody will come.
Fantastic. So what's the feedback? I mean, I saw one part in here where, of course, wine is a grocery. It's not a grocery, not a luxury. That's your mantra, right?
It is.
And then everyone's nose is a good nose. What is that? We've all got a great schnoz.
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 We do all have a great schnoz, and again, my dad is a great example of this. This guy that said, "I can't smell. I don't know how to do this." And actually, when we were hunter-gatherers, we depended on our noses for our survival, right? It's how you understood what you should eat, what you shouldn't eat, what would keep you alive, and so it's in there. It's innate. We just have to tune it back in and pay attention to it again.
Okay, so you give us tips on how to do that. That's
Exactly.
great. And then there's one here on, tell me about this.
So the idea is, when we say we taste something, we're actually smelling it. You only taste sweet, sour, salt, bitter, and if we're lucky, we taste the Japanese idea of umami, which is a savory thing. But when you say you taste a strawberry, you don't. You perceive a sweetness, you perceive an acidity, but all that actual flavor is smelled. And so it's an idea of tapping into, everything we think you taste in a wine, you're actually smelling, and that's why we can actually do a scratch and sniff book and help you understand, as you work through it, you understand your own preferences. And that's what this should be about anyways. You're like, you know what, I like strawberries, I don't like blackberries. I do like oak, but I don't like American oak because it has dill, and I hate dill, so I very seldom drink any wine with American oak on it. But I know that because I've scratched and sniffed my way through the book, and you understand what you like. And that's the key.
So the biggest feedback, what's been the most resounding feedback that you've received about this book?
People they feel empowered, and that's the best part. And the coolest thing I've ever made is actually, it's in the back. And so after you've scratched and sniffed your way through the book, you have this is the map to your desires, right? And so if you say, I want white wine, you start with this side up. If you want red wine, it starts with that side up. And then you just answer the questions. It's a 3-question, choose your own adventure. And you say, you know what, Richard, I don't like blackberries. I don't like the seeds. They get stuck in my teeth. It bothers me, whatever. I like red fruits. So you start with red wine, and you go in the red fruit direction. And then the next question is the wood question. Do you like oak or do you not like oak? And you've scratched and sniffed, and now you understand whether you do or you don't based on those flavors. And let's say, you know what, Richard, I love oak. Okay, so you're going to go to the love oak direction. And unlike me, you say, I love dill, it's great. And so you're going to go to the American oak direction, and you know that, again, from scratching and sniffing. And then the last question is earth. Do you want it funky or don't you? And so you say, you know what, I do actually like it funky. So you've gone red fruit, you love oak, American oak, and I'll take it funky, and that tells you what to drink. And in this case, it's Tempranillo and Grenache from Spain, where it's called Rioja. So you can just walk into the store in the restaurant and say, I want Rioja, and it will make you happy.
Absolutely brilliant. It simplifies the terror people really have, the complications
Totally.
around wine.
Yeah.
It personalizes it too.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole point. No one tells you who to vote for or what toothpaste to use or what to have for breakfast. You choose that. And it should be the same with wine. Choose what's going to make you happy.
Fantastic. Well, I encourage everyone, I can't wait to get the book, and I encourage everyone to grab a copy as well. I'm sure on Amazon.com. And also, what is your website?
myessentialwine.com. But Amazon's the place to get the book.
Great. And you can also find Richard on genConnect.com, one of our favorite wine experts in the world. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you.